Alright, welcome back. Today we're going to be covering Dan Allen. And Dan Allen was caught in the Riverside, California sting. And if memory serves right, the Riverside sting was one of the larger ones, which would be fitting for Dan Allen because he's one of the larger guys ever caught. In this picture right here, he's probably about, damn near touching 300 pounds. So he's a big man. Big man. But fortunately, this is another dead predator, and that means, you can't defame a dead person. I've said that a lot in the past couple of days, recording all these. So, I can say whatever I want, and plus there's no one alive that would care about what I say about Dan Allen. He has a daughter who has spoken on Reddit, and I believe on Chris's podcast about him. And he was not a very good person. He was a scummy person his entire life. So, not much has been lost. But, he was caught in the Riverside, and he died. But, also, thank you to Apex Health Academy for uploading this. And on the right side, you can see the Family Self-Defense Program. I cannot find an uncut that is 21 minutes long that doesn't have that. Granted, I haven't looked very hard, because every time I search uncut, I always get a commentary about it. But this might be the only one that's truly, uncut. So, who knows? I don't know. But let's hop into it, shall we? Jesus, dude. It's been 5 seconds. And you're standing behind the screen door, eerily peering into someone's house. And sitting there breathing because your fat ass is out of breath.
He walks in, and he makes himself right at home. I mean,
Look at that.
He walks in, and he makes himself right at home. I mean,
The second the decoy says something, he's, oh, I can go. I can walk in now. What a fucking creep. My God.
basically acts as if he were showing up at an old friend's house.
Well, I want to take a shower and look pretty and everything.
I don't know.
We clearly...
Look at that man's fucking side profile here. Look at...
I don't know.
Look at the fucking... the stomach to the ass. That's a good couple of feet right there. That motherfucker is big. And dude probably can't even see his own penis.
We clearly have the element of surprise. I mean, these guys sometimes don't know whether to think I'm the mad dad who came in unexpectedly, the police, or an investigative reporter. And so their mind is whirling away trying to figure out how they're going to deal with this situation. And sometimes they just decide they're going to, act like they did nothing wrong.
That is something that people have done on this show, not before this, but after this, especially like the Long Beach. Like Michael Walker, who I covered, he doesn't see anything wrong with what he did. And something I want to clear up is no contest can also mean illegal but not immoral. And that doesn't mean that, the public sees it as illegal, not immoral. The defendant sees it that way. So I just want to get that out there. But yeah, some people genuinely don't believe that this is wrong. They believe it's normal. I mean, one, they're doing it, so they believe it's normal. But they believe it shouldn't be a crime. That it should just be, allowed.
Would you come on over here and have a seat, please?
Jeez. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
All right.
Good, sit down. What's going on?
I'm just meeting a friend that I met on the internet.
Really?
Alan,
People, they always leave out some key detail there. Just meeting a friend. Just a friend. I'm assuming a friend, around your age. Or at least above,
did
legal
not
age.
miss a beat. It was almost as if when I walked in, I was somebody he had met before. No admission at all that this was a bad situation, that what he was doing here constituted a felony. He was here to have a date with a 13-year-old, and yet now he's going to be my best friend.
And who's your friend who you met on the internet?
Sam.
Sam.
Yeah.
Wow. he remembered the name of, the child. That for some reason, and I've seen comments, people explaining why, but, a lot of these guys just do not remember the name. I know Seibert did, and I know Dan Allen did. And it's like, the fact that, I have to give just a slight modicum of praise on the fact they remember the name of the child they wanted to rape. If that's the best thing I can find about you, dude, you got to do some lifestyle changes, man.
And Sam is who?
Person I met off the internet.
Man, woman?
Oh, it's a girl.
It's a girl.
I don't know how old. That's why I'm on the internet.
All right, I want to cover something real quick. See how he's sitting on the stool? How he's not really sitting. He's got his ass half on the seat. One leg on the little rung and another leg fully extended. That's how fat people got to sit on stools, because it would put too much weight on a small pressure point on her ass, and it would hurt. And he's doing it like this because he's too fat to sit up there normally. I just thought you guys should know that.
Man, woman?
Oh, it's a girl.
It's a girl.
I don't know how old. That's why I'm here. I'm just curious.
They can say they're curious.
Your Honor, I'm just curious at how old this child says. I'm just curious. That's what he's known for, is his just curious defense. Now, it's normal to be curious, right? I've been curious about, how they get a fortune inside of a fortune cookie. Which, if you're wondering, I don't know. I've never Googled it. But, that's where curiosity is, okay? We're like, why is the sky blue? How heavy is a cloud? Not how old is this person that I'm coming to meet. That's not a curiosity thing. Curiosity killed the cat, all right? And you'll get killed trying to chase a cat because you're curious about it.
Yes, and I'm sure they are curious. But when you go back and read the chat log, it's not hard to see that they were more than curious. They were there to actually have a sexual liaison.
It was curiosity absolutely curiosity that got me.
And what's your...
Yeah, again, absolute curiosity forced me into this house after I had a rather long conversation with this individual, and I think Dan Allen sent some dick pics. Let me go double check that real quick. Okay, so I obviously can't show you them, but he sent 25 pictures of his penis, 2 of his ass, and 1 of his nipple. So 28 lewd images that he sent to this decoy. I did just look at every single one of them in great detail. I have a wide monitor, okay? I have a wide curved monitor. I saw that shit in HD, man. I didn't like it.
What's your name?
Dan.
Dan. And what's your last name, Dan?
Allen.
Allen. We knew that there was a conviction in his past. It had to do with a domestic incident, stalking. He had gotten in trouble for that. So, here he is, some years later, apparently willing.
Oh, look at that. People who do crimes over and over and again. Wow. Whoever would have guessed that this guy would be a repeat offender? What? No way.
To commit another crime. How old are you, Dan?
47.
47.
Holy shit. 47? People age horribly that have been caught on this show. I forgot who I covered previously, but someone I covered previously. John Adam Daniels, who I covered previously, aged horribly. If you're curious, go watch that video I have on him. If I remember, I'll put a link here or something. But he aged horribly. And Dan Allen, I don't know if Dan Allen was actually 47 here or if he's lying about it. I think he's actually 47 here. He looks older than... I have an uncle who is 70. He is old. He's up there in age, but he's very active. He's quite healthy. And he looks younger than Dan here does. It's ridiculous. I've seen people in their, 50s, 60s, 70s. I don't really know about 80s, but I've seen some old people that look way younger than this guy. What do you know? You take advantage of the youth and you age like shit. Got that one from Mrs. Gigi.
But,
And you say, just wait 1 second, and you say, wow, 13, am I too old? Nah, am I too young? I hate to say this, but
Okay.
you're not. Why?
Damn, dude. Wait a... Am I too young? I hate to say this, but no. Way to just make the prosecution's job easier. That's something else that pisses me off. It doesn't really piss me off. I find it more interesting than anything else. But people that, commit a crime or are, trying to avoid being caught for a crime, and then they gloat about it. And it's like, dude, like, that is how you get caught. And then they always get caught. Like, I hate to say it, but you're not too young for me. Like, okay, way to go, dude. You just got this district attorney, the easiest case of their life.
Why do you hate to say that? Because it's like I'm some old pervert, but girls your age are so much more fun.
Damn, dude. Damn. The fact that Dan has, I can see his outline of his nipples here. 1 and 1. They are damn near close to level right now. Hold up. Dan looks to be rotated at about a good 30-degree angle, but his nipple is about like a 15. That's not good, Dan. But the fact that Dan hasn't, crawled into a shell right now and understood the fact that I am out of my league here. There is someone here who knows everything about me, knows who I am, knows why I'm here, and I'm still going to sit here and talk out of my ass about it.
I have conversations like this with people that turn out to be guys more than half the time.
Dan, it's not a defense, dude. Yeah, I tried to do it, but usually when I try to do it, it's other men. Like, okay. So either you're gay, or, which I'm not saying that's bad, I'm just saying. So either you're gay, or you've done this enough times that you can say that you notice a pattern like, wow, usually it's older men that are pretending to be young girls online. I'm going to keep going after young girls online and hope I get one. And he said 50% of the time. So, a correct sample size to say 50% of the time is like double digits. Right? Like, he just admitted right there so casually that he's a repeat offender.
Or they turn out to be very nice women, and that's basically how it goes out there. You know what I mean?
No.
If somebody tells you they're a 13-year-old girl, don't you see something inappropriate about that?
Maybe so, but I had my big doubts that she was 13.
But if somebody says they're 13,
I know they said how old they were. They talked about school and whatever, but I doubted that they were actually 13. Well, why do you doubt it? Vibes. It's not a... When someone tells you something, you're usually correct to assume that they are telling you the truth. Specifically when it comes to like how old someone is. Like, Dan, the fuck, dude.
13, maybe you should just stay away.
Well, yeah, you're absolutely.
Right? I mean, why take the chance?
Like I say.
Imagine being the cameraman whose job is to post up on the old Panasonic and record the 4 recordings going on. I don't know.
A couple past experiences show that they're never 13.
So you've visited people online. You've visited people who you met online who said they were 13 before?
Well, yeah, 13,
Oh? What?
15.
So it's not the first time you've done this.
Well, no. Wait a minute.
Dan, what are you doing? Dan. When I meet it with 13-year-olds and for 15-year-olds before, so you've done this before? No. Like, Dan, what are you doing, man? I'm obviously not rooting for you, but I expect you to not be this retarded. Right? It is impressive how dumb, one can be here. Granted, I've never been in a situation like this before. But normally, I wouldn't be very incriminating on myself about my past transgressions against society and try to use it as my defense. Like, last time I did this, I ended up, stabbing someone. I got away with it. So you've stabbed people before? No. Like, what? Dan.
I've never met a 13-year-old girl from offline.
But what I'm saying is, did you ever go meet somebody who said they were 13 online?
No, not 13.
Very much, in direct odds with your previous statement there, Dan. Also, I like how they left out water for them. Because they know this motherfucker is going to be a chatty box.
16 in my area, and it was a a guy that was, I don't know, mid-20s, you know, who had a big laugh on me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I got duped. I tried to meet up with like a 15-year-old, and ended up being like a young man in his 20s, and he laughed at me, but you know, he's the real loser. He didn't get me, Dan Allen. He didn't get a good time with old Danny boy. What a fucking goober, bro.
That's why I was just very curious.
There were a few moments when I was talking to Dan Allen where I thought, based upon the look in his eyes, that this could go a couple different ways. One of them, not so good.
Boy, I wish I could just run home with my tail between my legs, and I feel like...
I wish I could just run away from all the consequences of my actions here. I wish that I could just avoid all responsibility for the harm that I've caused to others in my life and just run away to my house where it is safe and there are no people that can make me feel bad about what I've done to others. It's such a pussy limp statement, dude. Like, oh, I know I'm wrong here. I know I'm, the bad person, but I just want to run away like a little bitch.
Apologizing, but I mean, like, it's cyber. Who do I apologize to? And
I need to let him finish this. Okay, he can't even finish it. But it's cyber. Who do I apologize to? The real victims that you have, Dan. The real victims that you have. The real victims that others have because of people like you. It's no, like, oh, it's cyber. It's not real. Like, yeah, the digital stuff is, digital. It's not real. But it can have real-world consequences. You can talk to another person. You can do stuff, on the cyber that then correlates to stuff being done in real life. Like, it's... Who do I apologize to? The victim, Dan. The victim.
I don't know. I feel sick.
Dan, I think that might just be like the diabetes acting up. It might be your diet.
Well, I am not the police, but I am Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on computer predators. He knows that he's in a bad situation once the camera guys come out. And so he's not going to try to be my pal anymore. He's mad.
Well, I'll shove that camera down his throat.
I don't think you're going to want to do that.
Why is that?
Dan, the only guy shoving stuff here down throats is you, and it's your own throat, right? You're the one, snacking out all this food. I'm surprised to need what's on that plate right there, dude. Surprised you weren't opening the fucking cupboards.
I don't think you'll want to do it. Now, we can't keep you here. If you want to say anything else to us, we'd love to hear it. You're free to leave, obviously, if you want to go. Had he decided to pursue the more aggressive route, and had he gotten physical, I mean, we had security there, and security people would have stepped in to prevent that from happening.
Okay, but can I talk to you outside?
You can say whatever you want to say.
Well, I mean...
This comes up a lot. A lot of people will ask, like, oh, can I talk to you, like, off camera? Can I talk to you, outside? Put the cameras away, I'll talk. Chris, in even one of the earlier, so like one of the ones without cops, might have been the Bethpage one? No, it was the one where John Kennelly showed up, because it was the same house. But the guy asked for, like, Chris's business card. And it's like, David K., like, kept emailing Chris and stuff. It's very, like, what are you going to talk about with him? Are you going to beg?
I obviously want to say something off camera.
Well, I can't have the cameras turned off at this point.
Well, then I'd like to say that pretty much I think you have it all wrong. But your point's well taken.
Yeah, dude. Everything that I said, when I didn't know another adult was reading it, you got it all wrong, man. There's a couple of different ways to read the room right now, and you're reading it the wrong way, even though it's the obvious way.
If you want to follow up, my email's on here, my phone number's on there. You can call me, talk to me.
Oh, Chris did give his business card. So this is another guy who got his business card. I want your business card, Chris. Give it to me. Let me have one.
If you want to follow up.
Hi, guys. Pretty weird. Cut.
I know.
That was a solid, like, 3 seconds of silence. Dan had to break it because he knows, several pairs of eyes are on him, several cameras. Who knows how many people behind, inside the house are watching him on the cameras that he doesn't even see. He's like, shit, I gotta say something. Cut. Shut up.
Know that what he wants to do is get me outside off camera and try to convince me that he shouldn't be a part of our investigation. And that's just not an option. And so it sounds weird, but I'm trying to be, polite and decent with the guy, but yet at the same time suggest that, okay, it's time to go.
Well, they're going to stay on. I mean, you're free to leave at any time. I mean, I'm not going to try and keep you here.
Normally PJ has trouble, getting guys to the house, right? Like, oh, they're suspicious, they drive by, or they never show up, or whatever. They're having a difficult time getting Dan out the house. Yeah, I wonder if he knows what's going to happen to him. Because I think this is the first thing where law enforcement was involved. I might not be right on that. Or if he's just like, I don't know, afraid? I don't know.
If you have anything else you'd like to say, fine.
No, you're just doing a story, and I've got caught up in it, is what you're saying. But
well, you didn't get caught up in the story. It's not like you're just some random passerby. You are the story, Dan. You are the subject. You're the the main body, the paragraph of the article. Even though this isn't an article, but you know what I mean. You're the subject. You're not caught up in it. You are it.
it's probably a very good story.
Anything else you'd like to know?
Nope.
Free to go. Why don't you come on out the front if you'd like? Sure. Yeah. I think sometimes these guys are trying to figure out, how they're going to leave. If they go out a different door, are they better off doing that? Most of these guys are not hardened criminals who are going to try and run from police. Once they see that they're going to be arrested, that a number of deputies or officers are there, they pretty much cooperate.
Ah, son of a bitch. Alright, so the reason this one, so I mentioned earlier when I was looking for Dan Allen uncut, this was the only one that was like 21 minutes long. So in my head, it's like, okay, this is probably the longest copy that there is. Well, I didn't realize that it's, the TV version and then the raw version. I didn't realize that. Oh, hey, look at that. Goon Relations, James Wiles, a TCAP Commentary. You should go watch that. But I just went over his TV segment. I'm not going to go over both. Sorry, guys. Whoops. Now, his chat log is 42 pages. It's quite a long chat log. Again, I'm not going to read the whole thing. Well, I do read the whole thing, but I'm just going to show the highlights, the funny parts. But usually one of the highlights is the start. So Dan messages first, says hello. Decoy says hi, ASL. And he says, I'm 34 male from Southern California. How about you? 13 female Riverside. Wow, 13? Am I too old? Nah, am I too young? I hate to say this, but no, you're not. Why do you hate to say that? Because it's like I'm some old pervert, but girls like you are so much more fun. Decoy then asks, are you an old pervert, LOL? He says, I don't think so. So are guys my age okay for just chat or okay for other things too? Dude. Quite literally. No warm-up, no stretching, out of bed, feet hit the floor, running. This guy does not care. Zero regard. He just goes for it. It is insane how quick this was. This might be one of the quicker. Well, this is obviously one of the quicker ones, but I'm thinking of all the quick chat logs there are. For how quick it takes bad things to happen. This is up there. This might be the fastest, at least in regards to after the decoy expresses their age. Also, I want to say, it's Christmas. It is Christmas of 2005. It is 11:30 at night. Christmas of '05. If any of you were, if anyone here was old enough to even remember what they were doing, Christmas of '05, I'm willing to bet you were spending that time with your family. Now, there's a reason Dan here wasn't. He was not a very good parent. And it's quite pathetic, it's quite sad that on Christmas he is soliciting a minor. So they're conversing for a little bit, and Dan says, I like to fish, ride motorcycles, work on my vintage cars, and talk to cute young girls like yourself. Cool! Just saw your pic. You are so very cute. Also, I want to mention I mentioned this earlier, but his screen name is trying to be normal. That was a very deliberate choice there, Dan. Normal how? 11:46 p.m. Do you have a boyfriend? No, not anymore. Do you have a girlfriend? Not right now. Don't take this the wrong way, but I would just about give anything to be with a cute young girl like you again. Yep. Something tells me he's might have done this before. Something tells me he's a repeat offender. So in case anyone's curious about what cars Dan Allen has, he has a 1966 Ford pickup, alright, pretty nice, and a 2001 Ford Mustang GT Bullet, which I think was some like custom, low volume, well, yeah, 5,000 made, but low volume Mustang. And this is '05. So he might have bought that car new. So I don't know where. I'm assuming he had decent coin at the time, but who knows? We got lucky. Imagine he was talking about a Corvette for this entire thing. Yeah, this is one of one Corvette assembled on a Wednesday, with the yellow paint, with the blue trim on the inside, with scuffed rims options when I hit the curb at McDonald's drive-thru. So now they're talking about where the decoy lives, and Dan mentions like, oh, I get out there sometimes, and decoy asks, does he work out there? He says, no, I get a massage there once in a while. I know it sounds weird, but it's not. Imagine being the masseuse or the masseur that had to massage up a Dan Allen. Think about that. Think about that for a job. You think he tipped well? Here we go. Hey, next time I'm supposed to get a massage, I'll let you do it and give you the money if you want. I'm surprised he's not putting in like just asking. Haha. What a fucking goober, dude. The decoy, whose name is Sammy, by the way, says, well, my mom's going out of town in a couple of weeks. That would be a good time for night fishing. They were talking about fishing, by the way. But then he says, and you don't ever have to worry. I'm a really mellow guy. I am the most mellow guy around. It would never hurt or let you get hurt, no matter what. Now, Dan's daughter did mention he was very abusive. So, I'm Dan, I'm gonna call cap on that. All right, I don't think you're being honest there. So here Dan asks about the decoy's ex, and the decoy says, well, he dumped me for someone prettier. And Dan says, no way, I swear I would love just to meet up with you and ... Better not go there. Aw, no, tell me. Would love to make passionate love. Wow, really? I know that's bad of me, isn't it? If I come to you, well, I'll come to you, and we'll get a place for passionate love. Can we do it when my mom's out of town? Then I don't have to worry about getting in trouble. Whatever you like. I wish I could see you now. I'm sure you don't look bad. I have grease on my face. Lol, were you working on your cars? I have this other hobby too. I make motorized bikes. Just for fun, and then sell them. Like mopeds. The one I have now is a Schwinn Stingray. It goes about 30 miles an hour. So dude straps on a little 2-stroke motor from like Home Depot or whoever you get like a two-stroke motor from back in 2005. I know it wasn't Harbor Freight. And you imagine having one of those bikes. It's entirely possible that some of those bikes are still up. You know, California, a lot of people bike there. It's very nice all year round. They don't have winters like I do. It'll be fucking. It was negative 15, just a couple of months ago. California doesn't get, well, LA doesn't get that. Riverside, the coldest it gets is 50. So those bikes very well might still be out there. He says I deal in antiques, and that was brought up with the time with Chris. And I just thought of a joke is that he deals with antiques, yet he wants a minor. So what is it, Dan? What are you into? Also, I didn't mention this, but in the chat log, he went to school. He has a bachelor's. I don't remember in what, or I didn't read that part, but he went to school for 4 years. Decoy asked Dan, keep in mind, this is 12:49, well, 12:50 at night on what is now December 26th. And the decoy asked, do you have any any kids? And Dan says, yeah, one daughter. Oh, how old is she? She is 16, maybe 15. She would kill me for not knowing. Dude. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? Oh, you are such a bad parent. And I just remembered another thing about the Dan Allen's daughter was that they didn't know he was caught. And then they're watching the show, and then all of a sudden he pops up, and they're all like, oh my god, that's fucking Dan. He then mentions, God, I want you so much in relation to the decoy. So, bit odd there, Chief. Bit odd. Well, they greet each other. Dan's like, oh, I thought you stopped talking to me and stuff. And then he says, remember I told you about a massage? I need one now. That's I would give you one too if you wanted. Lol, do I have to pay you? No, but full body massage. I like medium pressure, but also light fingertip, which puts me to sleep. Cool, how long would you sleep, LOL? Cover up with a towel to where you are comfortable. I swear, if you didn't light finger, I could fall. I could sleep and sleep. I will say that light finger, dragging with the nails. I always called it like nice mommy growing up, but that is genuinely like a wonderful feeling, and that genuinely might put him to sleep. I loved it, so you might be right. No, you're fine. You're cute. Imagine being the person that had to lie. Saying that about Dan. I will say the pictures of him, just in front of the webcam, he just looks like an old generic dude. But knowing like who he actually was is, he's a very bad person. But I mean, we all know. But then at 11:51, Dan says, "So you want to see the best part of me?" Sure, LOL. You sure? You don't care what it might be? I can close my eyes if it's bad. What would be so bad to make you close your eyes? Ha, I'm not telling. Probably nothing. Okay then, hold on. Hello? I don't see anything, but your pants, I think. Just your butt. Oh, you want the other side? LOL, do you want to show me? Why do you ask? Do you want to see it? LOL, I don't know. If you want to show me, I guess, LOL. If you give me a massage, you'll probably see it anyways. Is that bad? Because you don't have to if you don't want. I would love a massage from you. Better you get the money. I have done it one other time. Were you scared or nervous, or was it cool? She wanted to see me jerk off. So yeah, I was all nervous. Did you do it? Yeah, I did it. Hope that doesn't bother you. It was real cool. Different. Never have done that for someone. Kind of wanted to do it for real after that. In person, you mean? Yeah. That would be cool. I never really saw that. If you would like to see that, I would do it for you, I think. I don't think I'd be too embarrassed. He then says several pictures, or his webcam's on, I don't know. But Decoy says, it's big, cool. I'll stop if you want. No, you don't have to, it's okay. You like it? Yeah. What are you doing? "Oh, what are you doing? Just watching. Maybe I could come if you want. Sure, I never saw that. But I have to ask, do you like sex? What have you done? You don't have to ask that, Dan. No one's forcing you, dude. Have you ever had a guy give you oral before? I would want to do that to you the second you wanted me to. So this is still the same conversation. He's still jorking it on cam. And he says, I've had girls ask for some weird things. Really, like what? One like to watch guys pee. Oh my god, really? I swear. One more sec, I'll be off. Did you pee? Oh yes. Oh, yes, one time for fun. I hate to admit it. Dan. Dan. I never saw that. You ever seen a guy pee before? No, would you? Pee? Now or when we meet? Maybe now. So I'll know if I like it before you come over. Okay, hold on. Have to find something to pee in. Oh my god. Ready? Question mark? Cool. Ignore that Discord ping, that's me. Cool. You don't think it's gross? No, well, it's kind of cool. Would you let me watch you? I don't know, LOL. Would you want to? Sure, if you let me. Oh my god. How did I never know about this? Would you let me watch you? I don't know, LOL. Would you want to? Sure, if you let me. I'd be sitting on the potty. I don't know. Maybe be in a shower, bathtub, or in a towel on the floor like a dog. We'll get one of those piss mats out for dogs, dude. I used to have like this really small dog. We only had it for a couple of years before we gave it away to this elderly woman because it was so small that like I could pick it up and put it like in my pocket. It was such a small dog. I don't know why we got it. But we had to have a pee mat because it was too small to go down the stairs on the back deck to the yard. And I'm just thinking one of those little blue sheets down. Oh my god. I know it would be exciting, but only if you want me to see. Oh, Dan. Oh my god. Oh my god. I would definitely want to do some oral on you then. Make you have multiple orgasms. He's typing wrong all of a sudden now. I will say his grammar is usually okay, but this one it's all over the place now. He's getting horny. So you want someone nice to try things with? Like someone to sort of teach you things? Yeah, exactly. I'm your man. Dan the man. LOL, cool. I like it that way. Sort of like I'm the teacher. Oh. What are you doing? See, see, I knew you weren't watching. What did you do? I'm sorry. Nothing. I came. You didn't see. Oh, I'm sorry. Shoot. He sounds so heartbroken about it. Like he's genuinely devastated by that. Like I don't know what to tell you, Dan. I don't know what to tell you, Dan the man. I'd really like to meet you. Do things. Have dinner and whatever. I've never met anyone from Yahoo Messages before. And Dan just said that at 1:27 in the morning. And we know that's a lie because he told Chris multiple times how he's done this multiple times. And it's usually a grown man. You're so sweet. Thanks. You're not too bad yourself. I promise. I'll make a great teacher for you. Cool. What else you teach me, do you think? Whatever you like. Like if you want to explore the male body, you can do that. Show you how to have orgasms. Even if you don't want to have sex, I can show you different positions. Why do you want to teach me, LOL? Because you're so cute, young, and fun. And I've never done anything like it before, so it'd be exciting. At the very least, I'd make a friend. Dan, at the very least, you would face the remainder of your life on the California RSO. And publicly scrutinized as a rather gross individual. I don't know, you are a pisser, by the way. I know that now. More people know that now when they watch this. A couple thousand people will know this. I get a couple thousand views. I'm happy about that. A couple thousand people are going to know that you piss. So here they're talking about what Dan used to do back in college. He says, "No, I used to drink way too much, but hardly ever now. I probably have some weed around here somewhere. I've tried just about everything, but I'm a lot older than you are." Really? You hate me? Question mark. LOL. No, what was your favorite to do? Weed, but always in college. Did a lot of coke and speed. Nice. Oh my god, really? But I'm anti-drug, especially with like ecstasy and meth. Yeah, that stuff scares me. Trust me, don't even try it. Weed is okay. Okay, I promise. But I do like to drink and smoke weed. That's okay. When we meet, what are you gonna do? When we meet, are you going to? I don't have any. You want me to bring something to drink? I can bring a joint if you want to. Oh my god, that'd be so cool. What do you drink? Well, I usually drink beer because it's easy. LOL, but I like Mike's Hard. I don't drink anymore. I used to drink, a while ago, but I stopped doing it. And one thing I've noticed is that beer absolutely sucks to drink unless it's like a Corona. Coronas I could pound back, or like Pibbers, PBRs, Pabst Blue Ribbons, whatever you want to call them. Those things I could pound back, a whole load. All right, I could take a load of those. But like drinking like Coors Light, it just sucks. It just sucks. One thing that was really nice about drinking around the early 2000s, early 2020s, and around that time period was hard seltzers are really starting to become common, like Claws. Those things are baller. But beer, because it's easy. Beer's not easy. It sucks. I always had to force myself to drink it. Every time I go to the bars with my buddies, it's like, man, I gotta get a beer. Damn it, dude. I don't like them. They're not easy. They suck. Yeah, I'll bring some of that, but you can't tell anyone. It'd be contributing to a minor or something. And the commentary that the decoy left here. Least of your worries, pal. And it's like, yeah, it really is. Like, yeah, like, I'll get caught on like 8 different felonies or whatever the fuck. But, given weed and some Milwaukee's best to this decoy, yeah, that's where I draw the line. What a fucking doofus. He then asks, describe your body. You have seen mine. Well, I'm like 5 feet tall. I weigh about 95 pounds. I have brown eyes and brown hair. Do you have small boobs? Yeah, kinda. Are you hairy? I like small boobs, so don't worry. Dan, if you like small boobs, lose some weight, and you'd have small boobs. Instead of like C cups or whatever. And, Decoy says 32A, sorry. I don't know, sorry for what, but Dan says, I love that. Really? A lot. I thought guys all liked big boobs. Dan says, not true at all. I hate big boobs. Dan, you have big boobs, dude. Dan, you have big boobs. Oh my god. Oh my god, really? I swear to god. Wow, that's so cool. LOL, then you'll love me. Are you hairy down there? Weird question, I know. No, I don't have much hair yet. Is that okay? Yup. A lot of women shave down there. Really? Wow. In fact, I'm getting horny just thinking of you now. Now they're talking about, the webcam and what was going on there. And Dan says, so you tell me if you want to see something else. LOL, I think I saw everything, didn't I? LOL. I guess. Decoy then says, I didn't see your feet. LOL. Dan says, you didn't see me come. Now they're just talking about, it's a typical decoy predator conversation and all that. And Dan says, but do you think it's okay that you're only 13? I know you're very mature. More than a lot of 16-year-olds, or 18. Yeah, I think it's okay, don't you? I don't care about age, I told you that. I do, but a lot of people don't. You do what? You care about age? No, no. I don't care, but a lot of people do. I don't care what anyone thinks. It's none of their business. Yeah, but if anyone found out, then it'd be so bad for me. And for you. Well, you decide, because I really like you. And I thought you wanted to teach me stuff. But I don't want to make you do something you don't want to. And I don't want to have to talk about all the time. Jesus. I want to so bad. How will I know you won't tell anyone? Why would I tell someone? I'd get in trouble too. I hope that you don't archive even our chats. You know people could read them. Like me, Dan. Like some dumbass in 2026. You know, reading this chat at 6:07 p.m. on May 15th when it is a utterly beautiful day outside. And instead of doing something outside, instead of feeding my bunnies that I don't actually have bunnies, but I have a bunch of newborn bunnies in my yard. And instead of setting up something for them like I've wanted to for the past couple of days, I'm here reading this. So from now on, we'll just figure you being 18. So you have to tell me you're 18 then, okay? Tell me your age. 18, right? Question marks. I'm 13. You're confusing me. If you're 18, then all is very legal, no matter what anyone thinks. Get it? Okay, I'm just saying, if you were 18, this is all would be not a problem. So if you said you were, then this wouldn't be so much of a problem. I guess so. BRB, I have to go check my chicken. Dan says, cheer up! Exclamation mark. You want me naked? Would that cheer you up? Yes, nympho. Decoy says, LOL. And Dan says, that's a good thing, though. Now, I had to Google that word. I didn't know what that word meant. And apparently, nympho, if I'm even saying it right, means a woman with a strong sexual desire. No 13-year-old knows that, Dan. The fact that the decoy knew that should have set some red flags off. Why would they know that? I didn't know that. I'm a grown man. How would I recognize what that is? How would a decoy recognize what that is, man? God. You make my my Werner big and hard. My Wiener big and hard. Oh boy. Yeah, I do. Well, let me see it. Let me see you first, LOL. Hang on. So Dan is once again on the webcam jorking it. And he's, worried, like, you're not some older woman doing this to me, are you? Maybe you're just setting me up. He's being all defensive and stuff. But then, he doesn't fucking care anymore. His dick is running the show. Will you help? Yeah. Touch my balls? Do you want me to? Only if you want. Yeah, I do. I want you to touch me too. Want you to touch me too. I can't wait to give you an orgasm. Oh my god, do you think you can? For sure. Yes, I want to lick every inch of your body. That would be really cool. Oh my god, what happened? And the pee thing is cool. Maybe you can pee on me. Wow, really? I never have, but maybe it'll be the first time. Now you're not afraid of me, right? No, I'm not. My stomach's feeling all funny. Good, because I would never do anything you didn't want. I would never do anything you didn't want, and always make sure you're safe. But if you were, you could bring a friend. Whoa. I don't know if I'd want to do that, though. What's wrong with your stomach? It just feels funny. Nervous good, though. Do you want me to ask a friend? This is now the 5th of January, 2006. And Dan says, well, they're talking about, actually showing up now. And like what time the decoy's mom leaves. And Dan says, I don't know. I just can't get into trouble. I have too much to lose. What do you have to lose, Dan? You don't have a family. You have a daughter that you don't care about. You don't have a wife. Like, who are you? What do you do? He obviously mentioned peeing on the decoy and the decoy peeing on him. But I think the word P was only mentioned like 5 times. So, once you bring it up, they never really bring it up again. Besides, besides a couple of times Dan did. But if you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate it. I did kind of hurry through this because this is supposed to be coming out Saturday, which is tomorrow at 8 a.m. And I haven't gotten around to doing this until 14 hours before it's supposed to go up. So I got to edit it and render it, upload it, and Spectrum is dog shit, so it's going to take a couple of days. But it's not going to take a couple of days. But if you made it this far, thank you, appreciate it. Bigger number, bigger, better, and have a good one.